This FM 104.3. Who to meet
media measure say free baby near the Akodrus up in Pensway and the good news yatin and nano pay. Nana Endra cry. On said not ye can't we kept talking about this borrowing binge na the Minister for Finance engaged in. Or Bobby Siana left, right, center. Smart borrowing in as if there is nothing smart about borrowing.
There's nothing smart about borrowing.
No. Until whether you go and borrow 10 billion at a coupon rate of 5 or 10, at the end of the day, what has here? Until Kasu, we ideas na share Ghana mine. We have always complained. If you look at our revenue and our revenue effort now, collection effort, and yadia isu inisa, and each time you prepare your budget. Budget is just simply a statement of near you intend idea why you wajin say obeji any your say will spend it. Now mprimpi when you strike the difference between the two, excluding of course interest payments, near ubenya and I mean, I'm not. Let me not even talk about primary balance. But usually, when you strike the difference between your revenues and your expenditures, near ubenyano and una a friend fiscal balance. Say negative, never friend deficit. Say positive, never friend surplus. But Ghana had a minkai. The last time we had a surplus fiscal balance minkai. Now, which means that at every point, we are always in the deficit. Name how we manage that deficit, and the levels are we keep the deficit in here. But when we say Ghana, in politics, says here at every 10, you say Okohana, you see a pipe bomb water, you pay a coin, whether we've planned for it or not. We are planning to expand on our project, So we tend to have a lot of overruns. Now, when you have deficits, there are two ways you finance it: either you print money or you borrow.
Okay. Either you print money or you borrow.
And I'm saying the printing money. And we can't monetize our debt anymore. Until printing money, what you do is to borrow. Now, so borrowing so there are two things: we borrow and now printing money. But and I'm saying, like I said, yentimi and printing money too, so we borrow. Na kodru pempen so afi na kana ye di no kra yentimi entria hoka. Debt service na yentimi nya. So there are two things you do: either you increase your revenue collection and now you rationalize your expenditure. Obetiti nyoma na kana ye bo by way of nyoma ye tutono na sifo.
Yeah.
But then me say we have not been able to rationalize expenditure because of the kind of politics aye or omayimu no. Esanze wa nya ebeka say haban we dey na trimu ye di. Ena eto de bi so a ye penyimfo ne bi. And I keep saying say ora can over time wa Ghana man.
Are they?
Ojiji sika na at point he became a loan addict. Aji wante say ye masika wo habekwa akojibi. The fact that your economy is credit worthy interest sika bi ase okoje. Jama yebo say because we had gone to float Eurobonds and they got oversubscribed. Okoboka minti bi da say obi kire ni gie e wo ka okobo ho.
Te busian akwa akobo.
Busian akwa akobo ho. Say wa akobo busian no ye ma osika no ma no bruso. Ni nyina ye ka wo oba view be ye kinki say watch party esanse e kire say wo de otimi boka man ye. But ye tufu say moon slow down obi anka say membo bisian wo. Chairman, amama bebre every country borrows.
Yeah.
But sometimes you look at the levels and the capacity to repay. Until ye kaka and our public debt is always looked at in ratios, because look at public in nominal terms, look at the stock of debt keke. Usually it doesn't make sense. Until you have you state it in ratios. And amount for better as say when it comes to your capacity to repay, whether with GDP and our income no edos so that ubetimi etua wo kano anase wuntimi ntua. Nti yebo kanu kodrum pempen so afi kanu ehutua elekanza etua no kra na ntimi ntua biem. In 2022 somewhere May Minister can say, "Oh, enya dey because IMF because we could manage our own debt."
We're a proud nation.
We're a proud nation. And check Because chairman, we are now in an era where you can't repudiate debt. Or there are champion time that you could repudiate as a mean to now from Wedi. And then there we are. Not only will you be blacklisted, on the capital markets. Now, be a person investing in this country, it raises your political risk profile as a country. Into be a investment, be a or the political risk analysis. Now, be say, this country is highly risky. Into any idea may investing. Once and so be until you can't repudiate it. But now you need to get because you're Bobusian Manobroso. Until we had to go to the IMF. IMF no so almost share that one of the conditions is to bring your debt levels to sustainable limits. Until the end, as it's a restructure both your domestic component of the public debt and the external one. Domestic need to me and no man for ya punk ne punky Joe and as if we haircut no. But external dear as a man for tears said the external debt no it's not just individual investors and now corporations are investing by buying bonds ne other instruments we float. Sometimes countries, China for example, kana yetimiko bobisia or China, yetimiko France eko bobisia, and sometimes when you go to the bond markets, you don't determine who buys your bonds. Until countries even buy bonds. Until official creditors, untimi nkaze maybe more haircuts, sir. Ese uni omo edin komo. What is here? And the negotiation was in two forms. One with asset managers and hedge fund managers. Any official creditors. Na back and forth, sir. Na finally, I mean, Chadia. Sisia Omajatum. And Adia Emede. And he said, now we are going to get some relief of haircuts. Now, almost Omajatum Zombeji haircuts. No. Minim haircut cry a momo, but whatever form the haircut is going to be, they are going to lose 4.7 billion. What is here? At least we will buy us some space. It will buy us some relief,
breathing space. Until energy some, but we should not be excited. Say we had to go for a relief arrangement with our official creditors because we could have avoided this. It is because of the twin tragedies of COVID and then Ukraine war. Chairman, I think other countries have experienced the same tragedies that we experienced. Lansu, they didn't have to go through near Yekoyeno. What was their way to build it up? Because they were not debts that were contracted between 2020 and 2022. Can it be a lot of it? Na mature no. Car ball between 2017 coming up and even before. What is here? And some of the principal, they matured, we had to retire them, a bit more interest and so on and so forth. And media, my excitement is there is some relief because government really was in dire straits. Or yen hushia nye or triakana in tria. Until we had to find a way, and I'm happy to say finally the negotiations have paid off. But Niami Yan said, Nipana Odi Uncle Two, sir, I'm Nanamono. Who says the idea be dear, I try be careful, and was the idea of international finance minister. And Juman too. I really would have expected, say, he would stay on and clean his own mess, but. Well, I'm not in the position to advise whoever is doing the appointments. But Yeka say there is a need for a new finance minister. There is a need for a new finance minister. Any new finance minister.
New finance chairman. You see, he comes with some goodwill too.
I mean, Adam.
Exactly. Look, sir, debt restructuring negotiations. Chairman, we're not making any headway. But essence, a new minister and some fresh ideas be. We were able to, complete the negotiations and the committee, and it takes tougher negotiations and some goodwill to be able to do that. Oko who say no, this man he has hit a rock or yen who you and Okazi is here or international finance minister. You could have spared us our trouble.
This FM 104.3. Good to meet